Good morning, good afternoon, whatever time it is for you, wherever you are. It's such a pleasure to be with you again. And I bring you greetings from CSLNJ, Reverend Michelle and Reverend Neil, and also from CSL Rockland County, Reverend Melissa. I'm spending a lot of time in all the CSL centers. So I want to just bring that to you now we got you all mellowed out, we're going to pick you up. So get ready. Here we go. What if the world was a better place because of you? What if you had more love and compassion in all you do? The world would be a better place. We'd all live with ease and grace. Just believe in the dream, it can really come true. Here's what you do. Join hearts, let love's healing start. Join hands, let love heal the land. 'Cause I got it, you got it, the power to change the world. I got it, you got it, the power to change. Oh, I got that blood flowing now, right? Question number 2. What if your smile was the currency to purchase the dream? What if your heart held every soul as its love supreme? A love supreme. We shouldn't study war no more, holding love always at the core. Lifting the world, all people to the highest esteem. Ooh, it's more than a dream. Join heart, let love's healing start. Join hands, let love heal the land. 'Cause I got it, you got it, the power to change the world. I got it, you got it, the power to change. Yeah, I got it, you got it, the power to change the world. I got it, you got it, the power to change. Oh. Now while we're dancing around, getting that blood flowing, getting the spirit moving, we've learned the lyrics. So all you have to do now is sing along. Stay in key, stay in time, we're good. Like this. I got it, you got it, the power to change the world. I got it, you got it, the power to change. Hey, sing. I got it, you got it, the power to change the world. I got it, you got it, the power to change. Let me hear you, I can't hear you. I got it, you got it, the power to change the world. I got it, you got it, the power to change. Sing it, sing it, sing it. I got it, you got it, we got the power to change. Oh yeah, I got it, you got it, we got the power, we got the power. Yeah, you got it, the power to the world. I got you got the power to change.
Good morning, Heart and Soul. And thank you, Ty Stevens. We were in here, we kind of had a little rock going on, didn't we? Some of y'all were kind of chair dancing. I just got up. I was feeling it. And by the way, Ty will actually be with us in November for our anniversary celebration. And so that will be so good to just have his energy, which is magnificent. And you already were introduced to his beautiful voice and presence. And so we will have all that happening right here at Heart and Soul in November. Thank you, Ty Stevens. The power to change the world. I got it. You got it. We have the power to change the world. So, I've been working as best I can with this series that is really looking at the law, the spiritual law, the spiritual principle that it is done unto us, each and every one of us, as we believe. And so I want to put that together with Ty's song. I got it, you got it, we have it, the power to change the world. So here's the thing. It's true. We truly do have the power to change the world. I would call it transform the planet, you could say. Here's how that happens, though. It's from the inside out. Yeah, I know we don't want it to work that way. We want it to work from the outside in, like the world changes, and then we'll step into the changed world, and we'll be different. Just like by osmosis. The world will have changed, we'll step in, and voila, the new me, born out of the changed world. Here's the thing, though. Even if the world could change like that, when you step in with your little messed up self, you would mess up the whole thing. Do you see how life gets to be the way it is? Even if magically the world changed and we're like, oh my God, my grandmother's already gone. This is what she prayed for. This is what my parents kept telling me about. It's now that when you step in, if you have not changed to operate at that same vibration of the divine changed world, you stepping into it like messes up all the water. You know what I mean? Just that toe. It's now infected with the fear and the doubt and whatever it is that you have been entertaining that keeps you from being at that vibration. Now, that doesn't change the fact that you have the power to change and create at the level of which you desire. It just means you're going to have to do something in order to get there. Yes? So, yeah, you're right. I did not bring good news this morning because often people come to church to really pass the responsibility on to something other than self. I wasn't supposed to say that? That was like an inside thought, huh? Because I understand what happens is, we live the weeks, and because everybody doesn't go every week. So, you get 4 or 5 weeks of life, and then you go to church. And in church, you're expecting that someone will take that burden of, and what's the burden? Me. It's the burden of me. Someone will take the burden of me being me, and wash it clean, and then I can emerge. Now, I have not transformed, not a thought, but I'm expecting my life to, is this making sense? I have not changed anything but where I parked. And my expectation is that I walk in, I listen, I clap some and rock a little, and I leave transformed. And I don't know what y'all believe who are at home having brunch, having the church brunch. I don't have any idea what the mindset is that I'm a multitask transformation. I mean, I don't know, but do you? Here's the thing. In order to have the change that we are praying for, asking for, wishing for, hoping for, we must first transform. Yes? Yes? Y'all don't get off. Put the fork down. The truth is, we must totally transform. So, many, many moons ago, I started in ministry. When I was licensed as a minister, I became the assistant minister at East Bay Church of Religious Science. And one of my responsibilities pretty immediately was to take over the Wednesday night experience. And Lord, did I. And so one of the things that we did, and we were really kind of in this was just prior to my founding Heart and Soul, is we were taking our 40-year trek through the desert to the promised land. So we were all up in Scripture. It would be really Numbers is where we were, like Numbers 13. And that's what I want to talk to you about. So we find, of course, the exit at in Exodus, So we're talking about the Hebrew children and Moses leading them out of Egypt to the promised land. And what's interesting is that it's our story. It's our story, not because it's really not a bunch of people that we're talking about. We're talking about you and all of your ideas that look like a bunch of people outpictured. I don't know if that was really clear. Was that really clear? That we're not talking about the 12 tribes. We're talking about your 12 ideas. The 12 repetitive thoughts that you entertain in most of the living of your life. And we're talking about where that gets you, where that takes you, how it all works. Does that make sense? Can I play with that? Okay, so we find in Exodus 12, they're leaving, but here, this is our story, y'all, because their exit has a little pomp and circumstance to it, because there are some events that happen that really get the attention of the citizens of Egypt, who had been enslaving the Hebrew children. And so there's some deaths that happen. It's like a soap opera. There's some hot mess that happens, but as a result, the decision is get them out of here, not let them go, but get them out of here, because we gonna all be dead if this keeps up. So not only get them out of here, but on their exit, it says that in some translations of Scripture, it says that they borrowed jewels and good, good stuff from the Egyptians. And that just tickles me when I think about it. But this is us. This is us. So we want to laugh like, oh, they did, but this is us. This is our consciousness. On the way out to freedom, we're like, wait, hold up. Can I have that necklace? Those shoes. And they're like, yes. You going? Yes. Just get out of here. So we're taking advantage of the energetic presence upon leaving. This is us, baby. Yes? Okay. So now we're out in the wilderness, and we have wandered around for a good long time. And we're at Paran, and every name and number in Scripture has significance. I'm just going to touch this to say that part of the significance here of this particular wilderness area, its name also means it's about glory, but it's also the piece I want to touch down on is it's about seeking. So it has an energetic presence of seeking. All right? So here they are. They're in this place that has an energetic, no, pardon me, let me backtrack. Here you are in this energetic presence of seeking. And the instruction is that, you'll take, this is the instruction that God gave Moses is, you'll get one leader from each tribe, and that will be your scout team. So you'll have 12 scouts, and they will go. Now, they're close to the promised land. They're close enough to so this is the point at which we're going to go check it out. See if this is really it. And so sure enough, they go, and they don't just go and come right on back. They're there for 40 days. Now, 40 days represents a level of completion. When you think about it, if you have fasted or dieted or you've spoken another language or whatever it is that you have focused your attention on for 40 days, some of that you got as a part of you. You are changed in some way around whatever that is. Think about something that you have done for 40 days. Now, it may be something you didn't even intend to do. Come on, tell the truth. Don't just think of all the good stuff. What's the good thing I did for 40 days? There's some stuff you've been doing for 40 consecutive days that you don't want none of us to know. I'm not going to ask you to name it. You don't put it in the chat or nothing. But you know what I'm talking about, what I'm asking you to bring, because what I'm wanting us to recognize that 40 days of consecutive thinking that way, what it is done unto us as we believe 40 days of this, 40 days of as I'm believing, produces something in consciousness. Yes? Okay. So they go and they come back, and now it's time to report to all of the tribes. So what was it? And they sure enough, honey and milk and honey. Everything you can think of. They brought evidence. They brought fruits back and plants because we've been wandering in the desert of our minds, knowing that this is not where we wanted to be, but it is who we are right now. And we have an intention, we have a vision that we are engaging that will move us to the next stage, the next level of this. Is this making sense? And yet, we're in the desert, the repetitive nature. Because doesn't the desert look like that? When you look at the desert, it's not nothing new sprouting up. You're looking at just like sand or dirt or whatever. If there's a little plant, it's just that little plant, and you see a few of those, but that's it. There's not the variety. There's no lushness. And so it is in our consciousness. You better ask somebody this morning. Y'all better really lean in at home. Put the fork down and just lean in right now. Because this is something, let me just tell y'all, none of these slides, there's one slide that has a bit of the scripture from Numbers. But on my way here, and as I sat there, it was very clear to me that this is the message. So let's lean into each other around what this is offering, because Ty started it off. That we have the power to change. So there's a part of us that knows this, that recognizes this, and that's why we sent out that aspect of our being that is the discerning part of us. We projected the discerning part of us out to say, check this out. Let's be objective. Let's see if this is it. And while there's a part of us that's like, yeah, sookie, we here now. This is the spot. But there's also a part of us, out of the 12 spies, 10 came back and said, yeah, it's all that and more. All that in a bag of chips. All of that. And they are like giants. We saw them and we see them, the folks who inhabit the land that is our promised land, that is also our promised land. We see them. There's that aspect of our being that perceives them as giants. And simultaneously at the same time, our perceiving them as giants has us perceive ourselves as grasshoppers. Now, whenever I read that with discernment, I was really troubled with that aspect of me that, because sure enough, you could see them as giants. They're big, they're huge, and giants may mean really smart. I mean, they're big. So I don't know exactly but we know it's saying something about the huge aspect of what the people are, those people. But when I think about myself, I don't go to, and I'm not as big as they are, I go to grasshopper. Now, the difference, the distinction between giant and grasshopper, I don't know how you even bridge that. You understand what I'm saying? Grasshoppers don't get to be giants. At least if you perceived yourself as a smaller person, but you thought, well, I could wear platforms. I don't know what you see, but if you're a grasshopper, it doesn't give you there's nothing you can do. You need to, because this is you. You think I'm talking about the Hebrew children and the spies and what they saw. I'm talking about you and what your considerations, the way you are thinking about your life and the people in your life and the way that you relate to them and your place in life. What you think life maybe has dealt you if you are of the mind that life is dealing you something. So, there were 12, and 10 of them have consensus that this is it. It's all good like that, but we can't go. We ain't going there because they're giants and we're grasshoppers. And you would know that a grasshopper, I know there's a seminar, there's a workshop, there's something for us to just get right down into that second S in grasshopper, so that we can really work what is that in us that would have us think they're giants, like they all that, and I'm a grasshopper. Not I haven't accomplished that yet. Not I haven't had the experiences or the opportunities so that I could. Not that I'm evolving and one day I aspire to be giant in all the ways that giantness shows up in an attractive way to me. But now I'm a grasshopper, which means I can't even aspire. See, what I came to say is we got that going on. But there were two. So there's an aspect. You don't have a consensus in your mind that that's the whole truth. Because Caleb and Joshua said, but we can take them. I think we ought to go. Come on now. This is why we're here. But in this case, for our purposes of learning, in this particular scripture, they not only ignore them or poo-poo what the information, their discernment, their sense of what's possible. They ultimately, as the people are in their fear about it, because the 12 are presenting to all the tribes. So there are those ideas that have credence in your thinking. There are those beliefs that trump other beliefs. Yes. And all of this is happening. So when the cumulative impact of this is they don't go. But not only do they not go, but the people, meaning the bulk of your ideas, your way of thinking, is we're going to elect a captain, and that captain is going to take us back to Egypt. Now, some of y'all are looking incredulously, but I want you to know within us is that idea that not only is this not doable now, but let's just go on back and be enslaved. Yes, not only is the proximity of what we desire. That doesn't have enough credence. The fact that it really does have everything we're looking for, what we were told, what we believed would be ours, is there. But it really comes down to our sense of unworthiness. We like grasshoppers. So you know what? We're going to elect somebody that will lead us back to slavery. That's within us. That's what we're working with. So yes, Ty, we have the power. I have the power. You have the power. We have the power to change the world, but will we use it? How will we use that power? What will we use that for? That's our story. So let's see if we can bring that up to now. So we know we've been playing with this idea that it is done unto us as we believe. And I've been in prayer about how do I speak about that in ways that I envision like popcorn popping. You know how you don't know which kernel is going to pop next. But something pops, and then something else goes off, something else. So there's a part of me that wants y'all to have a popcorn experience. That as we share these ideas, that stuff pops off, like you see yourself, and you realize, oh my goodness, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm thinking. Because so much of our thinking is under the radar. And many of our beliefs are beliefs that are truly not ours. They are by right of consciousness, but they are not ours by right of origin, if you will. We're living grandparents and cousins and neighbors sometimes, teachers and influencers in our lives, excuse me. And so this idea of it's done unto us as we believe, as I believe, as each of us believes, is worthy of deeper inquiry, of looking at it more deeply. Like an idea comes up. Now, this is happening all the time. Most of the ideas any of us have, we don't even know we had them. So this is only relevant for those ideas that you can catch. Because you can't do anything about the ideas that you don't know you thought. The thoughts you don't know you thought, the ideas you don't know that you generated. Yes, the beliefs that you don't know you have. But the moment you see one, what I would want to do is to tweak your system of discernment. So when you leave here today, tomorrow, when there's a thought wait, hold, back here. I need to take a closer look at you. Because I'm not just letting any thought, any little is this making sense? No, I can't have just any belief out in the world changing my experience. Get back over here. Come on. No, right now. You got to get it over here. And like, I need to look you, as my mother would say, in the eye. Come. It's that, I didn't know that I was channeling my mother in this moment. Like, come here. I need to talk to you. And oh Lord, that was my mother there. Thank you, Stella. And so now you kind of want to be eye to eye with whatever this is that you're sending out. You want to review it. You want to see, now, is this representative of my heart's desire? And some of it you have to say, you ain't going. No. I'm sending something else. So it's here, now you channel it into mama. Because what? I saw that just like you sit right here. No, you sit down. You sit right there and don't you move. And then you're going to work on what are you going to send out? What are the thoughts? What are the beliefs that you want to expand on? That you want to, what? Okay. All right, y'all. I actually do have a slide that says this. It's this idea, I know I did it. Oh, yes, there's that. We'll see. Ooh, there's some good stuff in here. Okay, it's this one. Feed your heart's desire, not your fears or their messengers. You know, this summer, we read Dennis Merritt Jones's work, When Fear Speaks, Listen. And so in that book, he introduces us to what he calls the messengers, the 7 messengers of fear. And so they are anger, worry, judgment, selfishness, shame, loneliness, and uncertainty. And so the idea here is where are you putting your attention? Because here's what we know for sure as spiritual principle, that wherever, and physics, wherever you put your attention, it expands. In quantum physics, we learn, or we're reminded, that our energetic presence makes a difference. It changes outcomes just because we are. Not because we're necessarily doing something. Well, being is doing something. Oh, come on now. Just you being is doing something, is what quantum physics lays out for us in a way. Yes? Yes. So in this, the idea is, where do you put your focus? Where do you put your energy? Where do you want the change to unfold? And you have, I'm sure you have more options than you realize. Sometimes we say, well, I don't have any choice. But everybody who's not in that situation with you can see that you have choices. So our work is to somehow extract ourselves. Like, this is my stuff. Stuff. Let me go over here. And from here, I can see my stuff without my validation. I can see that, oh, that's that same stuff from elementary school. That's that grasshopper thought goes way back. This isn't a new thought. See, I'm wanting you to be empowered so that you're discerning if this isn't a new idea in your life. When you can look, you're like, oh my goodness, that's a second grade idea. That was when he took my lunch and you begin to see that you're not thinking new thoughts. You're recycling. Come on, Hebrew children. You're recycling for 40 years the same thoughts until they die off. That's what that 40 years wandering is. That's 2 generations. You have to have those old ideas die off so that something new can happen. Why? Because it's done unto us, help me, as we believe. Now, the 40 years is not magic. Things have to happen in that. New ideas have to, but you have to be open to them. Like there's no time on the what do they say often? What's the axiom? That time heals, whatever it is, it doesn't. It's that hopefully you are doing something with that time. You're reading something, you're singing something, you're reciting something, you're shifting in ways, you're growing, you're expanding. And that growth and expansion then opens new possibilities for you. There are no new possibilities for your old thoughts. I'm sorry if you were expecting some new stuff out of your old thoughts, because it's not coming. New comes out of new. A new thought is an opening. Every time when something kind of blows your mind for like, what? That's a powerful moment. Milk that. See what else you can get out of that, because that's opening. What else can shift in this? The power to change the world is born out of you investing your power in changing you. You were supposed to get that the first time. Look, don't know what I said. What I meant is that the power to change the world is true, it's real, it's a beautiful thing. It only happens out of us changing. So in terms of the order of things, it's when I change my thoughts, my beliefs, I change my world. And when my world changes, the world changes because I only see my world. I know some of you are visionaries and you're seeing it all. The other 99.9% of us are seeing ourselves. We're seeing our own projection screen. And the world is formed out of what we're believing. Like there's not really a world like you can't discern a world outside of your own thought. Because what are you using to discern it? Discernment is an internal function of your thinking and believing and the application of that. So how are you getting beyond that? That's like you seeing outside of whatever your sight is. You know how when I say your sight, I mean whatever that score is. So you go and, maybe you don't need lenses, but you can just see what you can see. So this is like saying, no, I'm going to see beyond what I can see. I'm like, you're excused. Because you're going to see through those eyes you have, which you've trained to see and interpret. You see, because seeing is like a function of the eye. But it's not, what you see though, that's what you made up. That's your thought. Oh, travel the world and see stuff and see if the world agrees that's what's to be seen. They don't call a fork everywhere in the world. Could look exactly the same, but it'll be something else. I'm working hard up here. I don't know that y'all are helping me sufficiently. Because this idea that our thoughts absolutely form what it is we think. We think we are pure seers. There's that thing and I see it and it's not if you ain't ever done that, no. Somebody else would see that and and somebody else would be, oh my God, no, not that. And it's all the same thing. It's an inside job. Meaning everybody has within their visual field the same object. But it will mean something different to each one. Ooh, Father, Mother God. Okay, what? Okay, just tell me. Let's see. I have this idea that there's a slide that has like a choral group. So I have this idea that if we were, right now, let's say we were gathered for the first rehearsal. I can't even call it rehearsal. It's the first gathering of a choral group. And so they're just getting together, they're just giving them the sheet music or the lyrics and the notes. It's just the very beginning. And maybe everybody has sung before, but it's an amateur group. So we're not talking a professional gathering. There are a variety of outcomes. Would you say? There are a variety of possibilities for what we would experience with that. And if we were here participating in it, what we would experience is that whoever was directing would be giving specific cues and instruction around what outcomes they wanted. And we would begin to see, ideally, no matter what, we'd see some shifts for some people, and we may see no shifts for some people. Possible? That some folks would just be like, if I was in the group, I'd be like, I'm all about the lyrics, but those notes are confusing. I can get the lyrics down. I'm going to be one of the first ones to learn the lyrics, but you will wish I hadn't. Because I will want to put those lyrics to use without benefit of the chords. But some people in the group will be all about the chords. They'll be getting that. They're like, I'll get the words later, but I'm going to get these notes and the chords, and I'm going to be up on what that is. You see what I'm saying? So we would see all of that. Now, let's say we were blessed to be at the performance. And let's just make up that they had 5 or 6 performances. And we came to, say, number 5. My sense is that we would see a huge difference between what we saw at that first gathering, we could pray that there would be a huge difference between that. And logically, we could expect that to be the case. I'm wanting us to see that for ourselves. That there are those steps along the way where we learn the pieces that we need to learn to show up in our lives in the way that we desire to. On note, right lyric. I just thought about, my sense is that where lyrics are concerned, they're not necessarily as easy for everyone. So there are those folks who are just clear that they know the lyric. Now, each of you is probably thinking of a different song and maybe a different person, and it might be featuring you, where you have just been singing this lyric. Now, I had a situation where a beloved in my life, we were in the car, there were 3 of us, and we were singing along. Song came on the radio, and it was like, yes! And we were singing, and then it was like, what? What did you just sing? And they proudly said the lyric. Now, we have never let them live that down. You have to pull over. Because a hysterical driver is not safe. There was hysteria. Because, if you know the lyric, you can't even fathom how they came up with that. And sometimes that's how we are with principle. We just kind of made something up. That this is how it's going to work. And we made it up for so long, we singing it. And then you get to a moment like this, and we're like, what? No, that's not how life gets to be the way it is. Like you took a detour, and you're working on something from which you can never extract yourself, Hebrew child. You will wander for 40 years with this new idea about who you are and how you are to be. Some would translate it to very simply to say whose you are. Because there are true universal principles that when we get them, when we understand that there's Dr. Michael Beckwith says transcendence. That there's a transcendent dance, if you will, that it requires. And what I love about it is it puts us in transcendence. Otherwise it's a passive word. But if it's transcendence, well, who's going to do the movement? You. You are a part of that. So there's this idea that I have that transcendence choreography must include, and there's choreography in dancing all the time. Now, there are those of you who don't think so, and I'm here to add correction. There is choreography in dance. So, and it must include in our spiritual dance, curiosity. Come on, you got to be sufficiently interested in change. Inquisitive. So how can it happen? And sometimes, like, let's say you're going through something that is wearing you out right now. Bring curiosity to it. Don't be so sure you know exactly how it happened. Does that make sense if I say it that way? Because sometimes we're so clear about what she did and what he said and what they are up to that we have missed that we're the choreographer, that we're the director. We have missed entirely our role and thus our power to change the world, meaning our world. Yeah? Y'all good at home even? Okay, so I looked up and I saw what I needed to see. Okay. So, curiosity, inquisitiveness. And you got to bring some teachability. You can't just know everything, because if you know everything, you're complete. If you're still here, there's something more for you. And you want to be teachable. You want to be sufficiently open so that something else can happen, a new idea, a new seed can be planted in the fertile soil of your heart mind. Yes? And you got to bring commitment, because all of this could just be, for conversation purposes. We could just take turns reciting this and doing nothing. So bringing the commitment to transform your life from the inside out. So look, what I love about the story that is in Numbers is, one, the opportunity that it offers us for us to see it as our story. Not that we're traveling with all the tribes, that we are the tribes. That those are ideas, that those are mental and emotional states of being that we transcend, that we come in and out of. And all of them cannot reside in the promised land. The promised land representing your heart's desire. You can't take all that up in there. All that mess. Somebody would say, not me. But somebody would say to you, you can't take that mess up in the promised land. Yes. Yes. I'm going to leave you with yes. Yes. Ty, come on, bring them yes.
Yeah, there we go. Let's do that. Okay. Got to get my maestro in order. There we go. Doing it again. Now that you're comfortable and relaxed and you got your minds open, let's wiggle it around a little bit. Living in my day-to-day, knowing there's a better way, but no magic word to say. Then I realize that it is done as I believe, that if I ask, I shall receive, and that there's just one perfect magic word that I will ever need. Yes, 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 it all begins with yes. Yes, 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 and God provides the rest by saying yes. I turn fear into faith. By saying yes, I turn doubt into trust. By saying yes, I turn dark into light. I turn weakness into might. I turn wrong into right. Oh! Y'all feel it? By saying yes, I turn fear into faith. By saying yes, I turn doubt into trust. Oh yeah. By saying yes, I turn dark into light, meekness into might. I turn wrong into right. Oh, living in my day to day, knowing there's a better way, but no magic word to say. Then I realize I turn fear into faith. By saying yes, I turn doubt into trust. Oh yeah. I turn dark into light. I turn meekness into might. I turn wrong into right. Yes, it all begins with yes. Yes, yes, yes. And God provides the rest. Yes, yes, yes. It all begins with yes. Yes, yes, yes. Hayada siwi, hayada siwi. In case you're not familiar with the song, when we get to that part that says hayada siwi, it's a word that I made up. It comprises 5 ways of saying yes in 5 different languages. Hayada siwi. There you go. Oh yeah, yeah, yes. Hayada siwi, hayada siwi. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Hayada siwi, hayada siwi. Yes. 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 Say yes, say yes, say yes. Hayada siwi, hayada siwi. You saying it? Hayada siwi, hayada siwi. Hayada siwi, hayada siwi, hayada siwi. 5 ways. Hayada siwi, hayada siwi. Yes, yes. Hayada siwi, hayada siwi. Hayada siwi, hayada siwi. Hayada siwi, hayada siwi.